From Koreatown, Los Angeles, thank you for tuning in to Ktown Social Club. We bring together all viewpoints from every angle to talk about the issues that you really care about. Don't forget to leave a comment, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and smash that notification bell. Check the description box below to follow all our social media. Check out our podcast on iTunes and Spotify. And who am I? I'm Michael Kim, joined today by Ed Choi and Doug Kim. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. Here we are together again on Ktown Social Club. And
left out the we're the only channel. Oh, I guess like.
Oh yeah, I don't do that anymore.
Okay,
I try to make it shorter.
Okay.
See, it's under a minute and we're in the show now. So,
nice.
And you know,
in the show.
Wait, were we over over a minute every time?
sometimes it'll go, yeah. Anyway, so
Were we sometimes on the show? I'm just kidding.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
But
It's a
it played out
proposition.
different in my head.
yeah.
It's a proposition.
Anyway, in this
Tax joke.
in this episode of Ktown Social Club, we're going to cover an incident where something happened in Oklahoma City. As you know, one of our former hosts used to go to school in Oklahoma, and he stated that he never experienced any kind of racism there, how the people were very friendly. But now, 20 years later, this has happened to a 70-year-old Asian man, Mr. Vu. He's 5'3". I think he's about Johnny Somali's height.
He's weighs
Wait,
less.
is Johnny Somali that short?
He's like 5'3", 5'4", something like that.
I mean, he gives little man energy. But yeah, Lich Vu weighs like 115 pounds.
Yeah, 115 pounds. He's a very skinny dude. Here's a video. The cop just, from the body cam, he just throws him on the ground. I think he hurt his head and it was bleeding.
This is the view you really see what happened. Watch.
Ow!
Yep.
That's fucked up.
Body cam, you can't really tell the gravity of what happened.
This is horrible.
You can't even see this until you see the footages. He has a dent in his head. See that dent?
No.
Look at that. Right there. There's a ginormous dent forever in his head.
So, why did the police officer feel justified in doing this? You know, they're investigating, he's 71, hospitalized with serious head and neck injuries. Someone says he actually hit the officer. Is that true?
He like flicked his wrist at the officer.
Oh, and then the officer's like, oh my God. Okay, now I'm going to throw you down. And Ed made a report.
He said "fuck you" to the officer and like slapped his hand away or something. But yeah, that didn't warrant.
Yeah, I forget if he said "fuck you" or not, but yeah. He just
Like a
basically
pile driver.
He literally went like this.
Yeah. It wasn't
You
like
see it.
It wasn't like an assault or anything. It was
No.
like,
In fact,
you.
it's like something
Like,
that
get
I
off
get it.
me.
It's a bit like, of course, you shouldn't touch people or do anything like that at all. But it's like something a lot of Asian elders do. They're just like you know what I mean? They're like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this
It
was obviously basically another Gaza type thing where, like, you know,
the guy was clearly looking for an excuse.
disproportionate.
He was looking for an excuse to do it.
Some white man was looking for an excuse to body slam and crack the head of an old Asian man who's 115
Who
pounds.
was easily less than half that guy's size.
You know, and maybe only, and like, 6, 7, 8 more inches shorter. And
the thing people say that like, oh, he shouldn't have hit the cop. It's like, yeah, 100%. But that's not equal force. You don't pick
Yeah, that's what I'm
someone up
saying.
and
That's why I
slam them
say-
head first into the ground because they did. It doesn't even move the mic.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Like, that's crazy.
yeah, so, David, let me know if you can hear this.
70-year-old elderly Asian man.
It's pretty clear? Okay, let's play this. And here's Ed's report from
Loud-ass
TikTok.
voice.
Suffering from bone cancer, who barely weighs 115 pounds and dropped him headfirst into the concrete. This is 70-year-old Lich Vu, who on Sunday, October 27th, was driving down Northwest 39th Street in Oklahoma City when he got into a minor fender bender roughly around here. And he and the person that he got into an accident with decided to make a partial U-turn so that they could turn into this parking lot and sort out their accident away from traffic. And this police officer must have been right there, because as soon as Lich Vu and that other person turned into this parking lot, he came up to Lich Vu to tell him that he was giving him a ticket. You see, according to the police officer, when the two cars made a U-turn, instead of following behind the car, Allegedly, according to the police officer, Lich Vu followed and made a U-turn while driving next to the car. Which, from Lich Vu's point of view, I kind of do understand because this person is a stranger and you don't want them to flee the scene, so you want to be able to U-turn right immediately with them. Either way, all of it is fine until the police officer gets to the part where he asks Lich Vu to sign for the ticket. And the police officer goes on to explain that he's not admitting guilt by signing this ticket, that he's just signing the ticket to state that he got the ticket.
This is weird, by the way.
You can very
Watching
obviously tell that there is a language barrier for Lich Vu, who does speak English pretty well, but because it's not his first language, there are some obstacles. And you can tell that he's obviously confused and trying to figure it out based off of context clues, but he's hearing the words like guilt and signature, and it's very obvious that he thinks that he's signing away admittance to guilt, which is even more evident when Lich Vu immediately gets out of the car, points towards the scene of the accident, and tries to explain to the police officer what happened. And this language barrier, you can very easily tell that it is starting to aggravate the police officer because his tone just gets more and more annoyed. Which is wild because the solution to a language barrier for a police officer in the United States is very simple because every police department has resources to translators. The Oklahoma City Police Department specifically has a bilingual unit to help with translations. And it would have taken a matter of minutes because all this police officer had to do was call into his station and ask for a Vietnamese translator, and within a minute or two, he would have had someone on the phone who would have been able to translate everything to Lich Vu. But this police officer didn't do that. In fact, he chose to then threaten Lich Vu with arrest. Watch this.
If you don't sign this, you go to jail. Okay? I don't want to take you to jail.
I'm ready to go.
You ready to go to jail?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
And yes, Lich Vu is stating that he would rather get arrested because at this point he thinks his options are either A, admit that he's guilty, or B, get arrested. And then the officer even walkies into the station not to ask for a translator, but to ask for a supervisor because he claims this.
Can you roll me another unit? I got this guy up here and a supervisor who's in the 17, and he's wanting to go to jail.
And moments later, Lich Vu continues to try to get the police officer to understand what happened and that he was not at fault. Which, according to the police officer, Lich Vu then got angry and then struck him first. Specifically claiming that Lich Vu hit him in the chest with the back of his hand. Let's take a look at this hit, shall we? Which makes the police officer then grab...
Yo, he didn't even say fuck you. He just said shh.
Of his whole body.
What the fuck?
I think I did hear fuck you, though.
But watch this.
Before, he slammed this 70-year-old man suffering from bone cancer headfirst into the concrete ground. All because of that. And because of that police officer, Lich Vu now has a large visible dent in his skull. And in addition to having to eat through a feeding tube, he's now wearing this neck brace because his neck is fractured in 2 different places, in the front and the back. Want to hear something wild? Well, remember when I stated that the police officer could have easily asked for a translator within minutes? Well, this body cam footage was posted by the Oklahoma City Police Department. And in both of the versions that they posted on the long form app, as well as on the photo app, you can clearly see that they translated the English into Vietnamese, which goes on to prove just how easily accessible this translation resource is for the police department. And like I commented on their video, this means that the police officer chose violence and then chose to lie about it, stating that Lich Vu on his own accord started to lean left and he
Fucking liar.
on his arm when Lich Vu just fell to
I
the
pulled
ground.
on his arm and he just fell.
That's weird.
Fucking lying piece of shit.
This officer has been put on unpaid leave during the investigation, but I'm not quite sure what investigation even needs to take place because this is obviously assault, and men with anger issues should have no place in the police department. Not only does he need to be fired, but he also needs to be exposed so that he can never work as a police officer anywhere.
Probably charged with
ever
manslaughter,
again.
one.
So that our elders, like 70-year-old Lich Vu, immigrated to the United States
if he does
from
indeed
Vietnam
die.
back in 1975 to pursue the American
75,
dream,
okay.
where he met and married his beautiful wife for 35 years and worked hard at his own convenience store and at the General Motors factory so that he could raise his beautiful family of 3 children.
One of his children, who, by the way, is a veteran.
Tried to end their life because they're aggravated over a language barrier. We demand justice for Lich Vu. Oklahoma.
Fuck Oklahoma City Police Department.
Fuck Joseph Gibson. That's right. Officer Joseph Gibson.
Joseph Gibson, you piece of shit. You fucking piece of shit, Joseph Gibson. Hope
Joseph Gibson, who makes 20% more as a police officer than the other police officers on his force.
Wait, how do you know his salary?
Oh, I found his salary. Don't worry.
Are we? Do we have a video in the future?
I haven't had a chance to yet, but yeah.
so. There's a new video coming, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. What's his name? Gibson.
Joseph Gibson.
Joe Gibson. You piece of shit. I don't know what else to say, but
I mean, what else?
Yeah. When you can't find a job anywhere, I don't want you to be mad at Lich Vu. I want you to remember this fucking face. Fuck off.
yeah. So
But yeah, no, Lich Vu's family is going to sue the shit
Out
out
of
of
Oklahoma
Oklahoma
City.
City. I have been pushing them to. I've told them
Raising GoFundMe's for lawyer fees.
I don't think they're going to need it because typically how that works is they work
on
on
contingency.
contingency
Yeah,
of
yeah,
settlement. But yeah, I've been telling them to. I'm advising them on lawyers. Yeah, Oklahoma City.
Yeah, biggest thing since Timothy McVeigh.
You're welcome.
In terms of civil.
I wonder what is the response
Civil
from
payout.
the Vietnamese community? Aren't they very?
The amount of lawyers that reached out to me, they're like, "You need to tell them they need to sue." I was like, "Oh, don't you worry, don't you worry."
So he came to the U.S. in 1975, huh?
Yeah.
That's right after the fall of Saigon, I'm guessing.
Yeah, April 30th.
So he fled. He was a supporter of the South.
It was on one of the last choppers.
Okay, and then he moved here. So he's probably very pro-police, pro-American on all this. Very patriotic.
I mean, we don't know that.
Ex-military,
Yeah.
so.
No. His son is a vet.
Right.
Yeah.
But that
Yeah,
probably means
and
It
Oklahoma,
could, yeah,
Oklahoma is a red state, and
it
now-
was I mean, like Oklahoma, Central California, these were places that the Vietnamese, refugees
Texas.
were dropped into. Yeah, Texas as well, Houston.
Yep.
Those are like kind of big Vietnamese hotspots because of
I know about Houston. I didn't know about Oklahoma. That's interesting.
Houston's probably
Oklahoma. I
the
knew
biggest.
because I met a bunch of Hmong people, in 2018 that were from Oklahoma.
Oh, okay.
Weirdly enough, the largest population among people in the United States is in Wisconsin. Why Wisconsin?
Not Minnesota, Wisconsin.
Oh, maybe it is Minnesota.
I think it's
One of those.
Actually, you're right. I get those two conflated
I think
pretty often, actually.
they
Sorry.
were also dropped in there, but I think they're attracted to hunting.
It is Minnesota. You're right. It is
They're
Minnesota.
attracted to deer hunting.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That
Yeah.
makes sense. Okay. Yeah, but Joe Gibson, ladies and gentlemen.
So yeah, Joe Gibson, the piece of shit. Jackfruit supports you. Thank you, Ed. Let's go.
wait, didn't
Didn't what?
Jackfruit die?
One of the founders
Yeah,
died.
it's
I
run by
think.
his sister now.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
his sister. Okay.
I see.
Sue their behind off. He didn't hit him. That's no more than a tap on the chest. So because the guy got a little, the guy's like, I don't know, man. When I hear the thing that the statistic that what is it 1/3 of cops are abusers, domestic abusers? I don't know.
If a 70-year-old 115-pound man came and punched me in the face, I still wouldn't do that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'd be like, sir.
do you know?
Yeah.
Do you know what you're doing?
My arms, you cannot hit me anymore. What the hell is happening? You know what I mean? Like, what?
Oh wow, this girl Alyssa Nguyen, she's Vietnamese, obviously.
She's a mutual man, yeah.
She's got 1.4 million followers, and even she said, the photos were hard to look at, even though it was censored.
I mean, even she. Of course, she's gonna comment. Why wouldn't she comment?
No, what she said, even though it was censored. No, I mean that a big influencer like her, is.
Yeah, she's Vietnamese. Why wouldn't she?
She comments on, we're friends. She comments pretty
Yeah.
often on my stuff, yeah.
Elders should be respected and treated with care always. Justice for this man. Yeah, thank you for exposing this injustice. I did see some a-hole comment, though. Okay, maybe it wasn't on this page. Maybe it was on another
I'm sure
page.
it was. There's always some a-hole somewhere.
But he's on unpaid leave. I mean, he should be charged with,
Assault one.
Yeah, so I mean, I was being facetious on there because an investigation needs to happen because typically when stuff like this happens, the police union gets involved and there has to be an investigation because the union's involved. So it's all politics, to be honest with you. But yeah, fuck that shit. He's clearly guilty. Charge him with manslaughter. Fuck that guy.
I don't know why it's hard to find Joseph Gibson, though. I mean, oh, okay. I mean, I want to see his mugshot or
He doesn't have a
Headshot or
mugshot. I'm pretty sure he was smart enough to scrub his social media.
Piece of shit.
Because if I was running the police union, those would be some of the things I would advise immediately.
Wait. Can you go to all for a second again? Sorry.
Go to all?
Like instead of images.
Oh.
They said like even the New York Post is saying elderly man with cancer. So like
Shoves him to the ground. New York Post says he was shoved to the ground.
that's surprising to me.
What is this New York Post bullshit?
Which is crazy.
Because New York Post
This
is like a
shove.
right wing like tabloid.
I mean, it's hard. Some people try, but it's really hard to refute what happened here. It was
That's
clearly
true, but
police
I'm sure
brutality.
like I'm just like
But even then, they said shove.
I thought they
picked up.
wouldn't even like cover it, right? Because it's like, oh, we don't want to, you know.
No, they do sometimes. They do.
So
They need
even-
to placate their conservative Asians,
Oh,
So even on the New York Post,
especially the Vietnamese
the
community.
Adidas Viets.
yeah, they love Trump. They love the police. They love America. They love
I mean, I get it.
Republicans.
Vietnamese people, a lot of people from Cuba, a lot of people that came from, they tend to be.
They have more to
very-
prove, right?
Yeah.
Like, no, I fucking hate communism. Like that.
Yeah.
Even the comments.
They're still mad about JFK letting their DM die or whatever. Did they feel salty about that?
Letting their what?
Democrats? No, didn't DM. You know how the
Oh, Diem.
Yeah.
Oh, the Vietnamese guy. Okay. Yeah.
CIA was like, yeah, we don't need you anymore.
Yeah. So.
But even then, they said shove, and that man was picked up. I mean, there's some point where
yeah.
he's laying
That was like a
horizontally
fucking
in
like
midair.
WWE move.
Yeah, and slammed him
was
head
like a
first.
pile driver.
Yeah. I almost said pile driver, and I was like, this seems a little inappropriate to use. Yeah.
Well, he didn't sit on his head, I
Yeah, yeah,
guess.
true.
Like in Street Fighter.
Oh, here's a stupid comment. The force might have been slightly excessive, but you would think a 70-year-old would have exhibited a little more wisdom. Fight the ticket in court, don't fight the cop. Okay, slightly excessive with a brain bleed and neck injury as a result of the young man's testosterone-fueled
Look at
reaction.
the guy's name, Impartial Observer.
Fucking asshole. Anytime people
I
say
don't know what
they're
impartial means.
anytime when people say they're impartial or in the middle, they tend to lean,
Yeah.
towards the bootlicking side.
Everything that's trying to signal something is usually the opposite.
Oh, you're right. There was someone in my comments because I wrote, "You do realize you lick boots for free, right?" That's a good job. I don't remember what the comment was though.
Right. This guy says, I back the blue. That being said, how much of a threat is an unarmed 70-year-old man?
There was a couple of those comments in mine too. They're like, "I support the police, and this is obviously excessive force."
Yeah. The dude probably shouldn't be driving, but the cop is crispy toast on this. A very bad look, hurting the elderly cancer
Also, to be
patient.
honest with you, like, what kind of a dickbag police officer tickets someone after an accident? And then, his idea was that his point was that like when he made a U-turn, instead of following, he like went side by side with him, right? But from a logical standpoint, you just got into an accident. Somebody's about to make a U-turn, and if you've made a U-turn before in a pretty busy intersection, you know how it goes. One car, maybe a minute, 2, 3 minutes later, you get to go.
Right.
So like obviously you're going to try to want to turn immediately because like God forbid that person U-turns and then speeds off.
Hit and runs.
Right? You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not that hard for the police officer to be like, you know what? You're not supposed to do this, but like, you got into an accident, you didn't want the guy to go off like
What do they call it? Like the discretion? Something like prosecutorial discretion
or something.
Like that?
Yeah, something like that. But so like, there's something, but like instead he was just like, nope, there's clearly some bias. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And then like, I didn't show it in this, but like, I showed the one screenshot. The Lich Vu at one point like taps him on his arm, and the police officer goes like this, like don't fucking touch me, like ew. You know what I mean? All of it was just.
You think the officer was somewhat influenced by the 1.6 billion in anti-Chinese propaganda?
I don't know, but what I do know is that after he said ridiculous he was like, "Oh, you want to get arrested? Ridiculous." He goes up to the white woman that Lich Vu got into an accident with. He's like, "So do you need to do this, this, and this, and this?" And I'm like,
Yeah, he's
"That's
clearly
crazy."
racist. I don't
yeah,
think
he
it's-
goes from like, "That's ridiculous." Oh my god, do you need help?
I don't think he's the type that needs to be influenced by the 1.6. I think
Yeah.
he was already.
There's a couple stuff that I like couldn't put in because I was like, this video is already 5 minutes long. You know what I mean? I was like,
Yeah.
attention spans.
All right, well, anyway, we hope he gets justice and the cop gets a lot of trouble.
I hope you go in jail, and then
I hope he gets chauvined.
I hope the stuff that I see in movies happens. Okay, bye.
What? That he gets
Nope, we're just gonna leave it there.
caught with a pedophile charge, and then
Oh, I mean that would be
the
hilarious.
inmates take care of business.
You don't even have to do that. You mean it's just need to know that you're a police officer.
Oh, but like both of those.
I'm gonna wait to see what the
It's like guaranteed.
I want to see what has any Vietnamese American organizations made any comment on this?
I haven't seen anything,
Oh, okay.
but
I know there's an Instagram page for Vietnamese. It's called SupDoc.
There's also Pho de Culture, but they're more meme pages, no?
Oh, Pho the culture. Let's see if they covered it.
Yeah, they're more like cultural
Oh, yeah.
pages. I haven't seen like any political. I mean, that's just rare. There's no real Asian American political organizations, other than the ones that are just run by the Democratic Party
Yeah.
and AIPAC. Apparently, remember that?
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, hopefully, I don't know.
Oh, there was one that said fake news. Dang it.
Oh.
Whatever.
Why is everyone ignoring the part where the senior hits the officer? The guy deserved the arrest. Not sure about throwing him. Not sure. You're not sure, huh? The Element. Who the fuck are you? This guy's not sure. Was he JDM Cars, Nature and Dogs, 91 PS 13? What the fuck? I don't know what all this. Okay. All
He
right.
likes
He's a
Asian
nobody.
cars, though.
He's a nobody. Why are you
How hilarious.
like looking into a nobody?
Here's that immunity you all wanted until it's your grandpa? What? Is she talking about like Gascon stuff?
Now, one of the things that Trump did campaign about is that he's going to give total immunity to police officers. So it's not even qualified immunity. It would just be total.
Oh, wait. So these are liberals.
Probably.
That person is, for sure.
And so is this person. That police immunity y'all voted for.
Yep.
So they're saying, so they just want to make some, they just want to take a dig at.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're
that's-
scum.
I mean,
Liberals
that-
are fucking scum.
That's no different than people who come into my comments and are like, that's what happens if you vote Democrat. It's
I
like,
mean, they're both scum.
yeah. So again, that's my point. There are scummy people everywhere.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so that's enough of that. Let's move on and hope, I don't know.
He dies.
Hope it gets resolved.
Not
and-
Lich Vu.
Oh, I meant the.
Yeah, no, I get it. I just
Yeah.
wanted to be very clear just in
Yeah.
case, because people will, purposely
Oh,
conflate.
yeah. No.
We do not want Lich Vu to die. We want him to get better and live a long, at least 30 more years.
Well, I don't know if that's happening.
Well, 30 more years with $30 million.
But I hope he survives long enough where that lawsuit is going to benefit his cancer journey.
I mean, you
for
could
sure.
still have the lawsuit after. I mean,
No,
even after.
We're going to be very optimistic here, and it's going to be helpful, hopefully.
And then maybe they'll move to Vietnam where it's safer.
And they should
That's
should
doubtful.
send Joe Gibson
Anyway,
somewhere else.
so what's next? We have, so Johnny Somali, he apologized, didn't he?
I mean,
Okay, first off, okay, wait, never mind.
Yeah, what?
No, nothing.
So what happened was sometime last week, suddenly Johnny Somali apologized, and he appeared with a bunch of Korean streamers. And let's just show this thing. So there he is, like with the Korean streamers. I think this is Vivian Gray. She's a streamer, and that's her partner. His name is
is she Korean?
yeah, I think she's Korean, and then her partner is this black guy. His name is what was it?
Well, but they're not friends with Somali.
No.
Somali.
So what happened was they were also watching all this Somali stuff, and they were so pissed about it. And this is what they're saying now. So their plan was to kind of help the streamers and lure Johnny out so that they could all kick his ass. So she put up some Instagram stories afterwards because they got a lot of criticism. So what happened was Johnny apologized, and then afterwards the Korean streamers are like, yeah, okay, we just want you to apologize. Don't ever do that again. And then it seems like they kind of made peace.
Oh, and is that what the backlash is about?
Yeah, so a bunch of Koreans are like, what the fuck? Who the fuck are you guys? You guys don't have the authority to forgive.
Speak for us.
Yeah. And then, so they got a lot of shit for that. And what happened was that girl and the black guy went on social media on like YouTube or whatever and sort of told their side of the story. And I saw the black guy's video. His channel's gone now. He took everything down. But I did
That
see.
backlash was that bad?
Yeah.
Was it mainly from the Korean netizens, like in South Korea?
Yeah, Koreans.
Yeah, I figured.
Oh, because they said you're going soft on him, and
Or, why are you on Johnny's side? Like, you're Johnny's protector. You're supporting Johnny and all this.
Giving him support or giving him.
And apparently there's some Discord chats that shows that he is kind of trying to protect Somali. But what happened was the girl put up an Instagram story. She had a YouTube channel too, but I only see one video on there, and it's kind of an explanation. And she's saying what happened was that they were going to try to kick his ass. She wanted to find him and
Find him and destroy him.
I love the see what happened was stories.
Yeah, so I guess they contacted Hank Yu. And
Who's weirdly in that video looks like he's pissed in the background.
He's like not even looking.
No, he's like pissed.
He's like
Yeah,
looking in
He's
the
like, I don't want to be here.
yeah, so here's what happened. So they contact Hank Yu, posing as supporters of Johnny, saying we're going to, we want to help him get an attorney or whatever. So let's get his address. And Hank is like, no, not until we meet, and then I'll give you the address. So they go meet Hank, and I guess Hank gets in the car, and then he gives them the address. So Johnny Somali's not even in Seoul. He's in Gyeonggi-do, which is the province outside of Seoul.
Outside,
How far is it from?
I mean, depends where you are in Seoul and where in Gyeonggi-do he is. It could be pretty close.
Oh.
Like if it's Bundang, it's pretty close.
I guess it's like can people find him easily in Seoul? If like.
I mean, he's live streaming outside, so if you know the area, you're like,
So it's not
that's
too
the
far.
McDonald's at
It's kind of
Wardenson,
like the
you know?
suburb. It's like
Yeah.
Northridge.
Well, that's how they found him before, because they found they saw a pizza box and they're like, what pizza place is open at this hour? And they only found one late night pizza place, and that's how they found him. So they kind of tricked Hank and Johnny. So Hank then gives the address, and they go pick up Johnny under the pretense, hey, we're going to go see an attorney, whatever.
This is after Johnny was jumped.
Yes. Their intent is to get Johnny and have him get his ass kicked by the streamers. So this girl, Vivian, she says that as soon as she says she met him.
She
said,
looks dead right there.
yeah,
though.
but she said that he was so scrawny and small, and he looked abused and scared or whatever, that she started to feel sympathy for him. Like, oh no. His face is all bruised from being attacked. His energy is like whatever. And he's like a scrawny little dude.
That's the moment where people know you finish him.
Yeah.
And
And
standing there like this.
yeah, finish him. Mortal Kombat. And
Thank you.
Thanks, Dad.
that's what they wanted. That's what they were planning on doing, I guess, was really give him a beatdown. But this girl and her, this black dude, I think his name's Brennan, he goes by Brennan Kim now. He's like an MMA fighter.
Wait, who? The guy with the mask?
No, this black guy.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
was like, what?
So this black guy and this Korean girl are partners. So they decided to oh my God, this doesn't feel right. And then I guess they contacted the other Korean streamers and said, hey, why don't we just try to handle this peacefully and get him to apologize, with the intent that if he does refuse to apologize, then
they
they're
continue with their
gonna leave him half dead. Like that was a direct.
I have a question though. When did they come out with this? Because maybe they came out with this after the backlash and were trying to save face.
Yeah. So after the backlash, they explained it. So some people are buying it, some people are not. I'm still undecided, but I'm actually leaning towards okay, I think it is true that they were planning on beating his ass, because even when I see Johnny here, I'm like, yeah, if I saw a dude that scrawny, I don't know if I could still beat the shit out of him.
She could have, though.
Yeah, maybe.
She could have. She's at least 2 to 3 inches taller than him.
Yeah. But the thing is, so when Hank looks upset, I think it's because he's like, man, these motherfuckers tricked me. Look at him. Yeah, he looks...
Did they though?
Because I don't think
Or
Hank...
do you think Hank's disgusted that Johnny Somali is apologizing?
No, Hank told me through Telegram that I told Johnny to apologize. But it looks like they were forced
Hank
into
was
it
supposed
here.
to be on this program right now.
Yeah,
That's
Hank
what I
was
gonna
supposed to
say
be on
earlier.
today. He's supposed to be on with us right now, but he told me, was it yesterday or the day before? He's like,
busy.
I guess he's got to go into the police station. And
Is he doing what? Hiding in the bathroom?
I don't think Hank is afraid. Right, Hank? You're not afraid. He says that he likes our show. He says that you guys are cool. Or Or he said you guys are better than other channels. Other
Really?
I don't know. He says you guys aren't that bad.
We just dunked on him.
I know. Maybe he's a masochist. I don't know. He seems to be a
I do relate
masochist.
to that.
Maybe we dunked on him less.
Yeah.
That kind of sounds like what it is. Fuck. Soft.
I asked him, "Did you see our other episodes?" He goes, "Yeah, LOL." He thinks it's funny anyway. I don't know, but
I think he's just an idiot.
yeah.
It's not that complicated. He's just an idiot.
I mean, he does know like these old historical things though, like
Doesn't mean you're smart.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you're smart, but he takes these old things like in the 1800s it was like this, and then France and China, I don't know, like, and then he kind of twists it and
That sounds
combines
more
it.
like Andrew Kwan Lee than.
Well, I don't know. Hank seems in our Telegram chats he does like these
Oh,
things where
he
I'm
talks
like,
about that.
when I ask him to explain, because Hank says he's a free speech absolutist. He's like, nobody should ever be attacked for free speech. I said, so you think everyone should be allowed to go around insulting other people? He goes, that would be ideal. And you just tell them to fuck off or whatever. And I said, okay, so, and he really loves China now or something. He says China's base. I go, does China have free speech? He goes, no, but they're more honest about it or something. I go, okay, but does America have free speech? He goes, and I go, not just on paper, but in practice. He goes, well, no, not even on paper. He goes, actually, nowhere has free speech. And I said, so there's no society that has the free speech that you want anywhere, right? He goes, no. So I don't know. I'm like trying to understand how he comes to these conclusions, but
It's simple. He's an idiot.
but I did ask him like, hey, have you reached your final level of knowledge? Like, have you grown all you can grow?
Final.
Will you never change any of your views? He goes, no, I'm always learning and I'm always.
Oh, Mr.
Growing.
Socrates going on.
So I don't know. I do see like 2% hope for him. I know you guys don't, but
I mean, even a broken clock is right 2 times. You can say a bunch of shit. Something's going to be
yeah, but when I
right.
really press him on certain things, like, did you think it was,
Wait, did you ask him about the Chinese thing, like his ethnicity?
Yeah, as I recall, he didn't admit to the Chinese thing. He said he's Korean
Oh, okay.
or whatever. Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, there's a lot of stuff about that, and then yeah, the apology was rejected by many,
I think everyone knew the fucking apology was bad.
and then including the Navy SEAL guy or whatever. He got a lot of hate too because he took a picture with Johnny, and
Who?
you know that grifting dude who wanted like a PayPal link or whatever to get legal fees. He got a lot of attacks too, for being a grifter or whatever. And
Wait,
didn't you get a
Gino?
link?
Yeah.
No, the third guy who punched him. He's like Odiga, the guy who was like an ex-Navy SEAL or whatever,
He got
Oh,
shit?
he was an ex-Navy SEAL?
or whatever, like special forces or
Like
something.
Korean.
No, I get it, but still. Which is funny because Hank called him fat, right?
I'm not
No,
sure.
I asked Hank about that last night. He goes, "No, the guy with the stickers on his face is the fat ass."
I see.
I said, "Yeah, Ed thought it was funny that you would refer to someone else as a fat ass." And he goes, "Well, that guy, whatever." He's like, and then he starts sending me clips of all
Wait,
these
that guy
different
what?
angles.
That guy, me?
I don't remember. No,
Yes,
he's
you
talking
do.
about the guy who was sitting on whatever.
It's funny.
Oh, I said, so you want a free speech that exists nowhere in the world? He goes, that existed in 1800s America, did it?
No.
Okay, well, apparently he thinks it does.
No.
China actually has better free speech than EU.
The Sedition Act of 1798 immediately destroyed the free speech clause.
He says, anyone who resorts to violence to retaliate insult does not deserve to live. Thus, in self-defense, I believe in using maximum authorized force, not minimum required force. But I have to abide by Korean law while here.
So
How-
basically, he just said that he thinks what happened to Lich Vu is perfectly fine. That's what he just said.
I don't know.
How's that?
Not minimum force needed, but
Oh.
people should be able to allow however much force they want based off of whatever.
And he goes, I'm a total absolutist, just like how Emperor Washington intended. I said, if you never grew up in the USA, would you be a free speech absolutist? He goes, maybe yes, maybe no. I was always pro-liberty. I said, in some societies, they don't consider speech to be just speech. In some societies, speech is considered action.
There's also the clear and present danger clause. You can't say, fire in a fucking movie.
Right, so I don't know what he's...
Or like bomb on an airplane.
So I'm hoping when he comes on, we really press him on that because he's so hung up on the free speech thing. And he goes, societies that consider speech to be action are inferior. And he goes, these MFs are acting like Mexicans, not Koreans. He's talking about the streamers that are trying to beat up Johnny.
People who like focus on speech too much don't do anything.
He goes, if someone walks up to me...
Also, there's also like
Doers don't get hung
I
up on
recall
speech.
like there's also like fighting words, right? In the legal context in terms of free speech. Like if you say fighting words, that's like you're antagonizing someone, and so you wouldn't necessarily. I mean, I'm not sure exactly as to legality.
You
but
can't say you're going to kill somebody. I know someone personally who got deported for that.
Yeah, and didn't he say something like, "I want total Asian genocide" or something like that?
Yeah.
So it's like, no.
Yeah.
You can't threaten people and expect to like not be touched.
Yeah. Yes, some speech is action. Yeah. I'm going to unalive you. That's partial action.
You know what? Yeah. Vivian had a video on her YouTube that I just saw about 2 hours ago. Now it's removed. So
Who's Vivian?
She's the black guy's boyfriend.
Oh.
She was the one that was in the car that helped pick up.
Is her channel down or just the video?
It says video unavailable. We don't know either.
Yeah, but it only had that one video on there. I think she had removed all her other videos. But it was an explanation of everything that happened. So it's too bad. It's gone.
Whatever.
Anyway, I think that's it for Johnny Somali.
Isn't he like
I think he was charged.
facing like 29 years in prison or some shit? That's what I saw from someone.
Yeah, so he's still in Korea, right? Like he's not able
He's in
to.
Korea.
Not even allowed.
Yeah.
They took his passport.
So apparently he was finally charged.
But he's not in jail.
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything about that either.
According to the 중앙일보, Korea Daily.
It's not like they can't keep tabs on him. It's you're on a peninsula that's unescapable.
I mean, a peninsula with, what is it, 20 million people in Seoul, did you guys say?
Yeah.
25.
That's crazy. That's a lot of people to get lost in. Granted, doesn't look like everyone else.
Yeah.
So according to Korea Daily, Johnny Somali will
I only
face...
say that because we stick out like sore thumbs here, like,
Well,
I know what it feels like is what I'm trying to say.
Johnny will face trial for creating a commotion in a convenience store. Just for that, so far, I guess. The police handed over the streamer to the prosecution Wednesday, which is
Does
Wednesday.
that mean jail?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
But I did see
It
that they were
sounds
going
like
to
jail.
try to prosecute him for the deepfake thing. So you know how like we were talking about the deepfake stuff a while back, the
porn?
Yeah, like the channels. So now I think because of that, South Korea has very strict deepfake laws. Like
Already?
now, yeah, because of that. So
You were able to get lost past that fast? That's
I don't know,
crazy.
I guess.
Wait, but what deepfake stuff did Somali do? I'm
So,
sorry,
like,
I don't
so-
even like to keep calling him that because I know
what
actually smart
happened
people do
is that there was this Korean streamer, and I think she's like underage or something like that. And Johnny Somali was making like videos of them kissing, like AI of her kissing, and apparently that's part of the deep fake.
I don't think
that's kind of that's like borderline child porn, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think she was a minor, but she did decide to not go after him. Maybe she doesn't want more attention.
Oh,
Johnny
I thought
was
she
messing with minors in Israel, though. He was saying, "I go to jail for you. I'll change your life," stuff like that. So he was messing with minors in Tel Aviv, I think it was.
But yeah, so the girl reported to police, but she dropped charges. But the Korean government is not letting those charges go. So like,
Yeah.
it's not about like if the other person wants to press charges or not. It's just if the state wants to.
Now, Johnny Somali's going to get in trouble. Hank, he already got publicly humiliated.
Apparently,
He's
he
in
might
Korea
get,
still?
But it sounds like he's getting in a lot of trouble because he's so busy with the police, right?
Yeah, and Hank,
Is he trying to
Unless he's
escape
being
to China or something?
really busy with the police because he's
Maybe.
yapping and being a rat.
he's been to all over China. He said he's been to like.
That's probably why he's so pro-China. It's because he thinks that it's going to be a safe haven from South Korea because there's no extradition, right?
I don't know. But I don't know. He thinks they're based or whatever. And Hank will be on. He says he will be on here for sure. And I'm sure he's going to get some abuse from us.
On what day?
Well, hopefully we'll just do it next week. Because this is 2 times in a row where he's like,
Whatever. I don't think he's going to come on. I think it's too much of a bitch.
you think so? Hank, are you too much of a bitch?
Prove it.
No, I think He's pretty shameless. I think he's going to come on. Maybe he really is busy because Johnny did just get indicted, right? So maybe now it's Hank has to go in and give his statement or whatever. And
Not here.
Yeah.
I mean, he can. He can try.
yeah, let me see. Okay. He goes, okay. So you're going to come on the show. He goes, hell yeah. You want to see how fat that N-word who kneeled on me was? I go, the one with the stickers on his face?
How are you going to show how?
Yeah,
fat-
LMAO. Of course I call him he sent me video. When the streamer went to his apartment, remember? The guy with the patches on his face? He was harassing Hank at his apartment, right? And Hank had the door open. And at some point, Hank was also filming it, the guy. He sent me those videos. I don't know if I can show them here, but I'll show it to you guys later. But the guy, the streamer guy, he actually took his shirt off too. So you can see his body anyway. Hank's like, see? That's why I call him a fat ass.
Who cares?
Yeah. He goes, N, just look at this shit. Did you show them the rest of the assault vids?
What state did he grow up in again?
So he lived in California, in Santa Monica, La Cañada, also Texas, and where else? I forget.
Texas is where he was last when he got deported, I think.
I think Texas is where he got screwed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know that we kind of related, but did you know that since we're technically at war with North Korea still, the United States uses that to say that we're in wartime and to restrict certain free speech stuff that was enacted, I think in 1917. It's called the Espionage Act, but they use the fact that we're still at war to use that. I think they used that against there was this person who leaked some papers about Iraq or whatever. I forgot what it was, but they arrested that person. It was like a whistleblower in the army.
I do want to address something about Hank focusing on that guy being overweight. Is that like, so what?
I don't know. Hank gets caught. He gets also caught up on the fact. Again, he's like, the fight was not. I go, no. We all know it wasn't a fight. We know you got jumped. We're just saying that a lot of people think you deserved it, and that's when he goes into the free speech thing.
I don't think.
Yeah. Let's not talk about the fatness of whatever. That's just like a
No,
waste
but
of
that's
time.
what I'm trying to say is that like people who pick on people for being fat is because
No,
they don't
I
have.
agree with that.
They don't have anything else.
Yeah, but what
you
I'm
know what I
saying
mean? Like
is,
you
like-
need to feel superior over someone over something so trivial as appearance.
Oh no, I agree.
You know
But
what I mean?
what I was more saying was that like when he comes on, let's not even fucking entertain that like line of.
Why? I'm gonna call him fat to his fucking
Okay,
face.
fine. I mean, if you want to do that, I guess.
Especially if, like, I know you're like that's crazy.
Yeah.
I just
Maybe
don't-
we can
I
ask
just
him.
don't want it to like drag out like an interview.
No, we're gonna control that conversation.
By the way, he also lived in New Jersey. So New Jersey, California, and Texas. I think Texas is the last stop, and that's where he wanted to become a Dixie and Confederate soldier and all that, or a Hitler Youth or something. He
Is
goes.
Texas even part of the Confederacy?
I'm sorry, I thought it was. Maybe
I'm not
not.
sure.
I have no
Was it?
idea.
I didn't know they had slave state.
Yeah, because Texas is the reason why Juneteenth is a holiday.
Was that the last day of?
That was exactly where it happened, where it was in Texas where that message was delivered, and it was however many years
Damn.
later. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he sent me something. He goes, based as fuck. And then it says, this message couldn't be displayed on your device because it contains pornographic materials. I don't know what he sent me. And then he goes, by the way, I effed white girls and black girls in America. Are you against that? I don't know.
What, dude?
Congratulations, I guess.
Yeah, anyway.
Also, I don't know if like paying for sex workers really counts.
I don't know. Maybe with that alpha energy and his grappling ability, he was able to turn on some ladies.
Again, a broken clock is right twice a day.
Anyway, so yeah. So Hank, you got his he got beaten, and we're also gonna.
Wait, Hank, you got beaten?
Well, you know, they threw him to the ground. His face was stepped on, and
Also, like, fuck Johnny Somali, right? Like, all that stuff about being sorry is obviously fake because
Yeah.
there's so many videos of him saying that he knows what comfort women are.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a shit. Like, no one cares. I've
Yeah.
been, like, playing on whether or not I wanted to make a video or not because I have some of those videos saved from before where he's, like, talking shit. I don't know.
you know who kind of got off light is Gino. who's safely back in the U.S.
Wait, where is he again?
I think he's in Arizona because there was a Instagram or Twitter post I saw showing him at a Halloween party back in the U.S.
Phoenix, Arizona?
Something like that,
Oh,
yeah.
interesting.
So if any Koreans are out there, maybe say hello to him and ask him, why did you do that? Apparently Gino comes from a wealthy family. His mother's a very wealthy executive or something. Anyway,
That doesn't surprise me.
Wait, I'm having a brain fart. Who's Gino?
he was that tall,
He's his
skinny
henchman.
black guy who was.
Oh,
yeah.
yes. Oh, he's back in. Oh, okay.
I think after that incident, he's like, "Fuck this, I'm going back home."
Fuck Johnny Somali.
And Johnny was just like, he likes to stick his tongue out and all that.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. Johnny would have left with him too. He's just not allowed.
Right. Yeah.
No, I think like Gino realized before Johnny like how deep in shit they were. There's like, I'm out of here.
Yeah. There's that video
Yeah.
of the three of them in the police car after that beatdown. Johnny's just making a joke out of it, still drinking, and Hank's like, "I said stop drinking." And then when Johnny started filming Gino's like, "Why are you filming this? Like, why are you doing that?" So he was tired of Johnny too, and he was like, "Okay, probably like fuck this. I'm done. I'm going back home."
Yeah.
But
I mean,
yeah,
that's the smartest move any of them
Yeah.
have probably ever done.
but Gino forgot that there's still 2 million Koreans in the U.S. So
Not too many in Arizona though.
there are plenty in Phoenix, Glendale, Gilbert, Mesa area.
But even in that picture, there was like this Asian girl that was right next to her.
Yeah, well, she's one of the whatever, but
Please.
I don't know.
Floozies.
Anyway, if anyone knows where Gino is, give us his contact information. We'd like to have him on the show, and ask him about,
I highly doubt he was going to come on any show.
But if anybody has his contact information or an address where we can write to him, and ask him to appear on the show, please let us know.
right to him.
We'd really love to, have him on the show and
Honestly,
confront
I could
him.
care less. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's Gino. So
If everyone forgets who Gino is and then he died alone, that'd be perfect.
yeah. Some Korean American news, real quick. Robert An, he's the new president of KAFLA, the Korean American Federation of Los Angeles, the Haninhue. It's an organization that's been around since, I believe, the 1960s. He previously ran for. I think he ran for city council a long time ago. Yeah, Congress. Yeah. No, he ran for Congress a long time ago, 34th district. Oh, he went up against Gomez. And then he lost. And then somehow he was appointed to the LA Marijuana Commission. And he came to our studio last year on Culture Shock, the Korean language program, to talk about weed. And he brought all this weed on the program. Like, these are
Marijuana.
edibles. These are vapes. It was a pretty fun episode. But
Wait, was he positive, I guess, about it then?
no, he was just trying to be very, he's a government guy, right? He's like, he was saying in Korean, like, I mean, we're not promoting. We're just saying, you guys got to know about this. But we did get some negative comments on that. I don't know if Robert on himself smokes weed.
From adults.
Huh?
From like elderly Korean people.
Yeah, Korean people are like,
What
why
would
are
you
you?
say? Do you think he's pro?
Are we bringing this up because we know him?
Well, it's just Korean American local news.
okay.
And the current head of KAFLA, I believe he watches our program because when we had Lanny June on, he left a comment.
Oh,
Yeah, because I guess Lanny June used to go to, because the president of KAFLA now, James On, has or had a restaurant on Western, Piper's.
No.
I don't know if it's still his, but I guess Lanny would go there.
anyway,
and-
like, is Robert on like a left leaning or right leaning? just give us a-
he's a Democrat.
oh, okay.
I
So
think-
he wasn't being anti-weed. He was kind of like saying, "Oh, this is what it is."
Yeah. So yeah.
Compared to Korean Americans that age.
But real
Yeah.
quick, if we're going to talk about Korean American and American politics, Andy Kim
New Jersey.
just became the first Korean American senator
Yeah, I have
of
that
the United
here.
States.
according to the Korea Daily. Wait, let me just finish the Robert On. Oh, fuck, where did Robert On go? Okay, let me just finish the Robert On thing. Korean American Federation has elected a new president despite expectations.
Yeah, what does the Federation do? What is this Korean American Federation?
They are to represent the Korean American community. They do help seniors. I've seen like passing out food or like helping them vote or
Yep.
all these like community service things. Yeah.
What's their...
Hopefully they'll get involved a little bit more on cases against injustice a little bit.
Do they talk about any geopolitics or not really?
I don't think so because I think they're based on serving the local community.
LA. Okay.
Their organization is the one that has the big mural from Israel. I think when Michael was here, I asked to ask him about that, but I think they don't want to talk about that. But, you know, whatever. It's a local thing. I think they do good work here. Actually, James, if you're watching, we'd love to have you on.
Wait, who's James now?
He's the current head of CAFLA. He was at the 30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the guy that wears glasses, right?
He wears glasses.
Yeah.
He sat next to me at the 35th anniversary thing. I don't know if you saw the guy with glasses next to me.
remember.
He gave a speech too.
I'm pretty sure he's the first guy that ever clocked me off of TikTok.
Clocked you?
Yeah. Like he was like, "Wait, why do I know you?" And I was like, "Oh, no." And then he's like, "No, I know you from somewhere." He's like, "Wait, are you on TikTok?" And I was like, "My worst nightmare is coming true."
Was it
Wait,
at that?
that's the first time that's ever happened? You have like 500 bajillion followers.
At the time, I think I had like 200. This was like 3 years ago.
Oh, you met him 3 years ago.
Yeah. He was like the first person to like recognize me off of TikTok.
Where did you see him?
At this mural. It was for another mural, actually. It was like for this like mural unveiling at the side of Paul So, who used to work for the Attorney General of California.
Mm-hmm.
His parents used to own a liquor store that was involved in the riots.
Mm-hmm.
So on the anniversary of the riots, like 2-3 years ago, they had a mural painted on the side of their building that showcases like Korean people, along with like one of their workers who's worked for them for like 20 years, is on the mural, and he was at the unveiling of that.
I see.
But,
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, you met him there.
yeah, I was like shaking his hand. He's like, "Oh, so nice to meet you." He's like, "I know you from somewhere." I was like, "I don't know you." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh God, please no."
He was also involved, I think, from years back, helping the unhoused community, distributing stuff for
Yeah.
them and all that.
I don't know much about him, but he seemed like a nice guy.
Yeah, and I've seen him at BCD once, and he was like, "Oh, I watch your." Anyway, he's a cool guy, James. Hope to see you soon.
But Robert On, not so cool, I guess.
No, he's. I
Robert
never.
could come on too, right?
Yeah, no, he's been on. I never really talked to him before. I only met him for like 30 seconds once. But yeah, so and then let's get to Andy Kim. Dream come true for Andy Kim, first Korean American U.S. Senator. So he was the guy that was cleaning on January 6th. That's what he's most known for, I think. The image of him, the picture.
He was a House rep at that point?
I don't know.
Yeah, rep Andy Kim.
Yeah.
Dang, he was there on January 6th cleaning. That's
Oh, you didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's badass.
Oh. I don't know. I felt opposite. I
While
felt
other
like
people were hiding, he was out there being like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna clean."
no. I felt like why do you got to clean up the white
No, I mean
man's
for
mess?
sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean,
But I mean, from the standpoint of like everyone else was hiding, and he
but
was just
also,
Oh, yeah,
looks
right.
like it
Okay.
worked, right?
Yeah, it worked. It helped.
like, it did work. You're right.
2 years later.
I believe he did sign on a bill or something to end the Korean War, so that's a good thing. The only negative was when Trump met Kim Jong-un or something, he was critical of that. I don't know why, but whatever.
Establishment.
I mean, people are entitled to their opinions, and some people do not look at North Korea favorably.
Yeah. Establishment people.
I mean, but, you know, when Obama met Raul Castro, you know, Fidel Castro's brother, back when he was president, a lot of Republicans criticized that. And Obama said something like, you don't make peace with your friends, you make peace with your enemies. So I thought it odd that that wouldn't apply when Trump is meeting Kim. But at the same time, the Trumpers who criticized Obama for meeting Castro were suddenly like, oh, he met Kim. So both sides are inconsistent. It's just They want to do anything to attack the other side, and it's just bullshit. So anyway, I do hope Trump meets Kim again, or actually, no excuses now. Fucking end the war. It's been 74 years. End it already. Jesus Christ. Are we going to make it a 100-year war?
The cool thing about Andy Kim, though, is the day of the election, when candidates usually gather to, look for the results and stuff. He held his at a hotel, and it was the same hotel his parents and he first went to when they immigrated from Korea. I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. I just realized that we are now all older than a soon-to-be vice president.
J.D. Vance?
Yeah.
How old is J.D. Vance?
He's 84.
Holy shit.
Fuck our lives. We're old.
I hate you sometimes.
Well, we could have run for president.
35.
Well, I could have run in 2016. Is it to run you have to be 35, or to become president you have to be 35?
You have to be 35 at the
time of the inauguration.
I thought it was 45.
No, 35.
It's 35?
JFK, I think, was the youngest at like 43, I think.
No, I think he was like...
Trump is actually
41?
now the oldest.
Oh, is Trump the oldest?
Trump is now the oldest.
I thought it was 1917, yeah. So
Yo, fuck the youngest. Trump is now the oldest president.
Oh, he was like
Biden was the oldest
43.
president before.
Now Trump is.
Right. But then, like...
Which is funny because this whole, like, dementia old thing, and it's like, bro, you're older now.
Yeah, age at the start of presidency. Joe Biden was the oldest. And how old is Donald Trump now?
He's right under it.
Oh, yeah, we found out that Trump and Bush and Clinton were all in the same year.
Last week,
Bush
right?
and Clinton.
No, this was like a while ago, I think.
Oh, wait, but Donald Trump is 78.
Yeah.
And
he's like
Joe
a
Biden
year
is still
older.
80.
He's like a year older than...
Joe Biden is like 3.5 years older.
So he's like 6 months older than Joe Biden
Yes,
was.
but when Joe Biden went into his presidency in 2020, he was 77, and Donald Trump is 78. So he's technically now going to be the oldest.
The oldest person inaugurated.
So he's going to be half a year older than Biden when he takes office.
And the oldest to leave Joe Biden will be the oldest to leave.
And it will be Trump next.
And then Trump.
Unless...
I'm not going to say it, but if.
Wow.
We could die of natural causes.
That is what was predicted.
I mean, because isn't the average
So
age...
shouldn't liberals be happy about that? Be like, oh yeah, he's...
No, but I mean,
old.
like, it was predicted.
President Vance.
That's what was predicted in 2016. Somebody, I forget that one guy who made all those crazy predictions like 40 years ago that all came true. He was like, whoever this president is going to like die of a heart attack or something. And everyone's like, oh my God, Trump's going to die of a heart attack.
That's the death note.
Now it's like, maybe it's for this term. We don't know.
Like a Nostradamus thing?
Wait, when was the last time
Kind of.
a president died in office? FDR?
JFK, no?
Oh, right.
JFK, yeah.
But from I meant
Natural
from
causes?
Natural causes.
FDR, I think.
Yeah.
But then that guy was on his third term, wasn't he? Fourth term, Jesus.
Well, only 4 months into his fourth term.
Oh, okay. I remember... Okay, you guys don't know Archie Bunker, so I'm not going to say.
I know who Archie Bunker is.
Oh, yeah, so the old shows of All in the Family, Archie Bunker was talking crap about him, like, we didn't know the guy wanted to hang on to the job like a pope. Okay, if you guys don't watch All in the
We're
Family...
laughing at you.
You don't have any... Okay, Archie Bunker is like one of my favorite TV characters of all time, but anyway.
Speaking of the
Not
Pope,
to
I
age
did
yourself.
watch an interesting movie called The Conclave.
Okay.
You guys should check it out. I mean, it's very... I mean, it's... I feel like they made it for the election season. It's about, like...
I'm so bored already.
Okay. I'll check it out. Conclave.
Yeah.
Not concave, but conclave.
Conclave.
I'm going to be very honest. I'm not going to check it out.
All right, and that's it.
I think you would be entertained, actually.
Really?
Okay, we'll look it up.
Check out the trailer.
Okay. And that's it for this week's today's edition of Ktown Social Club. Don't forget to leave a comment, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and smash that notification bell. Check the description box below to follow all our social media. Don't forget to find our podcasts on iTunes and Spotify. I'm Michael Kim. Thanks to Ed Choi for joining us, and also, of course, Communist Doug Kim. Thanks for all joining.
Tommy
And
Doug.
thanks for watching. And we'll see you next time. Peace out, everybody.
Oh, you're really gunning for this under an hour thing, huh?
I'm trying to make everything exactly an hour. Like that's the unique thing. It's like everything.
Well,
is
now
exactly an hour.
you didn't do it then. Now we got
No,
like all this
'cause-
extra time to
No,
like.
yeah. So it's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, cut.
Oh, the timer's still going.